In this screen recording, what I'm going to do is create a new Cloud9 instance for the grade 12 class. So I'm just going to call it Java, since you might be creating another instance to run your Swift code. And as always, ensure that you select Ubuntu as the platform and create your environment. It's going to take a minute for it to spin up the new environment, and while it's doing that, we're going to go over to GitHub and create a repo. So I'm going to just log into the GitHub account. You'll know you're logged in when you see your little icon in the corner. I'm going to create a new repo. Always make sure you start with the course code and then whatever unit it happens to be in, so you can keep track of your programs. Make sure that it's always public, and make sure that you always include a README, and then you can create the repo. So here's our repo. We're going to grab the URL because we're going to need that, and remember that you can always look at the GitHub cheat sheet. Now that we've created the repo, when we go into the Cloud9 instance, we're going to be using this command to clone our repository into our directory. So that's the next step that we're going to do. So we're going to go back, and our instance is up and running. Going to create a new folder. All our introductory stuff will be in here, and intro-03, and you can alternate click and say open terminal here, and you'll get a terminal right at the location that you want to be in. Remember, we're now going to use the git clone command, so we'll do git clone and grab the URL. So I need this. And that will clone down the repository in our directory. If you do a refresh, you should be able to see it. There it is now. So we can cd into that. Inside here, what we're going to do is, first of all, you'll notice that it says master here, so you know that you are in a Git repository. We're just going to go File, New from Template, and put in a blank Java console application, and it will create that for us. Later on, we'll talk about you'll need to change the class name, and your file name has to be the exact same thing. So we're just going to call this Hello World. We're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to call it the same thing, Hello World, and we're going to make sure that we put it in there. So we've saved it. Now that we've saved it, you can go back to the terminal, and you see that our file is there. Now we're going to do the next steps. We're going to add to the files, we're going to do a commit, and then we're going to push it back to GitHub so that we can make sure that it's in GitHub as well. So we're going to do git add star, git commit with a message. It's our initial commit. The first time you will get this error, it's probably a good point now to take these and actually change them so that you don't keep on getting these error messages in your Cloud9 instance every time you do this. So now that I've done these two commands, I'll never see this error again. And then the final command is git push origin master, and that will send it back to our GitHub repo. Git push origin master. It will now ask me for my login and password. Remember, when you're typing these in, you have to type them in exactly, and nothing will show up on the screen, so make sure you don't make any mistakes. There we go. So it's pushed it back from master to master, and we can go back to our GitHub repository, and if we refresh, there's our new file, and it's been updated.